Shalom to all Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim, Rakakadash. All praises and glories definitely due, especially in the times we're living in. Much honors and respect to the apostles and others, the great millstone, and to all the brothers out there doing the work in sincerity and truth, rightfully dividing the word of truth. You do that through your precepts. I say shalom. Back for another quick four-part lesson. News and prophecy. Wars and rumors of wars, okay? I'm not sure which title I'm going to keep. Maybe I'll shorten that. So, anyway, again, we're covering news and prophecy here. So let me start here, all right? 2 Corinthians 4 and 6. For the Most High Power, who have commanded the light to shine out of the darkness, that would be the elect of Israelites, the men of the Lord that he has set up amongst the nation of Israel. All right, you have to be of the seed of Israel. You have to be called in. Okay, in other words, before the foundation of the world, certain men, okay, women, individuals, persons were selected. All right, and basically men now, just men, were ordained. Okay, they were sanctified and ordained to be prophets unto the nations. Okay, an example of that, besides getting deep, you don't have to go in the blue letter into the word election, but you can go to Jeremiah 1 and 5, and that will give you a simple understanding. All right? So anyway, that's who this is talking about. For the Most High, who commanded the light to shine out of darkness, that light would be the elect, his saints, among the nation of Israel, right? Which starts with 144,000, all men, 12,000 from each of the 12 tribes, have shined unto the hearts in Hebrew is lab, which means minds, to give light of the knowledge of the glory of the Most High Power in the face of Yahushua, the Mashiach, all right, who is the Savior. But we have this treasure. The treasure is this truth, this wisdom, this knowledge, this understanding of the scriptures. The living waters, people. All right? Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy, as you read in Revelation 19 and 10. You understand that? All right? So, but we have this treasure, this truth, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding in these earthly vessels, meaning these bodies, okay? That the excellency of the power may be of the Most High and not of us. See that? All right? Give me a minute here. This is Matthew 24 and 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass. You see that? So there's an appointed time, but the end is not yet. Okay? But we're close, people. We're at the door. Give me a minute. This is Habakkuk. All right, 2 and 3. So the vision, right? The vision, which would be the prophecy, right, is yet for an appointed time. But at the end it shall speak and not lie. Okay? Everything that the Lord is saying, all the prophecies. And remember, all the prophecies have to come to pass. Do you understand that? All right? And at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come and will not tarry. Right? It's going to take place. It's going to happen. All right? Do you understand? Give me a minute. All right. By now you heard of the mass murder in Moscow. Right? You can see the different articles, how Russia will retaliate to mass shooting in Moscow. Fear stalks Russia. Okay? See here. Happened at a concert hall. All right. The death toll rise. This says 133. I believe it's 137 now. Okay. All right. Anyway, let's go to a video. Give me a minute. We're watching two parts.
Bizarre moment, the exact moment, of course, when Congress was just about to vote on a $1.2 trillion budget that very mysteriously had no money for Ukraine in it, but it did have tons of money for Israel and LGBTQ plus causes, as well as cataloging and monitoring cattle in the United States using digital identification, but no money for Ukraine. So all of this comes at a very interesting moment. Just put a pin in that for a moment. We'll talk more about it in a second. Following, of course, the terror attack in Moscow that killed 137 people, including 4 children, the gloves are now off overnight. Russia's launched a series of major attacks in buildings in downtown Kyiv, hitting Ukrainian security service buildings. That's been confirmed on the Ukrainian side. Russia's also struck energy infrastructure. And according to reports this morning, Poland has activated its air force because of concern over Western Ukraine under heavy bombardment. So are we entering a new phase? And are the gloves off for President Putin? There's been a lot of criticism, of course, of Putin that maybe things have gone a little too slowly on his side. Colonel Douglas Macgregor is a former Pentagon advisor to Donald Trump. He's the CEO of Our Country, Our Choice. And in moments like this, there's no one I'd rather turn to make sense of this craziness than Colonel Macgregor, whose vast combat experience and Pentagon experience could speak volumes for us. Colonel, great to see you as always.
Sure, good to see you, Morris.
So let's talk about what your initial response is to this. It seems like the West was quick to jump on the idea that this was ISIS, and even other newspapers out of Australia were saying, don't believe anything Putin says. Clearly, this was Putin that launched this attack, just like he blew up his own Nord Stream pipeline. Just like any other attack that happens in Moscow, he's dropping drones on his own residential buildings, so this was Putin. What did you make of the initial response to this, and now Putin's response in the immediate aftermath?
Well, understanding the Western commentary and response, and actually the event itself, requires that you understand 2 key points right now that most people in the West are not getting. The first is that Zelensky and his regime is the equivalent of a fatally wounded animal that is dying. And as a result, it will strike out with whatever it has to the bitter end at this point, rather than essentially surrender, give up, and negotiate. So
I am very humbly asking.
Think of Zelensky's regime as a dying entity. Will grasp at anything he can find. He has no real capability left on the ground. He can barely defend what he's got on the ground. And so he's turning to other forms of action, like this terrorist attack, or the use of more drones against Russian targets in Russia itself. So that's the first thing. Second thing is that NATO is in complete disarray. Behind the scenes, people are panicking. They know the war is lost. That's been clear for a long time now. You'll remember when we talked last year about the NATO summit.
All right, we'll end this here. We'll be right back with parts 2, 3, and 4. Shalom.